What is up? Today we speak about worry, the mind's virus that keeps 95% of people poor. Why worry? I always say like worrying is like praying for bad things to happen. All right. And I know so many people are warriors. Like, I mean, I personally as well have been a big warrior, and I realized like, it took me some time to understand why. Because the funny thing is that I always hated warriors. I was always like, I cannot stand people that are always worrying about everything, because my mom is a massive warrior. She was always worried about everything. I always had to be at home. Like, for example, when other people had to be at, when I was a kid and other people had to be at home at like 11, I had to be at home at 10. Like, I always had to do less than everybody else until one day I just ran away and didn't come back for 3 days. That's how I went out of this shit, right? But like, worrying is really something, especially as an entrepreneur, when you start to worry, you will attract negativity into your life. It's just what happens. And I know it's easier said than done, because you can be in situations where you don't know how to pay the rent, where you don't know how to pay your subscriptions, where you are like, in just a situation where you are, where the water stands you until here. And then it's difficult not to worry. And I know that's a tricky one, but it's essential to learn this. All right. It's so essential to learn this that you are basically not hanging onto this kind of thoughts that will try everything to control you. All right. I mean, I've been there where I lost my business, my girlfriend, my house, everything. Like living in a friend's pool house, where like I realized that I can't continue one day longer like this. Like, if I continue, like, the thing that I realized is that I was super successful on cruise ships, number one best personal trainer in the world. All right, coming to Marbella, open my own spa, and just like with massive debt and everything. And but then it was just over 4 years. Having a girlfriend that was depressive, a business partner that was an energy vampire, like put it all together, all right. And like everything just eat my mindset. Like, my mindset was so strong before, and I thought I can do whatever I want, and everything I touched turned to gold. And now everything that I touched turned to shit. All right. And I was like, why? And then until when I finally found out why, I realized it's all because I completely lost control of my mind. And I was just really attracting negativity into my life. With everything that my thoughts attracted negativity. Like, it went worse and worse and worse. Like I said, I lost everything. All right. But the good thing is that when I lost everything, I understood that I lost everything because of my mind. Right. Like, it was not like somehow I was not looking for different reasons or whatever. I was like, I lost everything because I completely lost control of my mind. So that's why I was worrying so much in this time, like about everything, like this could happen and that can happen. And trust me, it's like praying for bad things to happen. So it all happened. All right. So that's why what I wanted to say, like, okay, so what do you do now? Like how can you stop worrying? Obviously, that's your question, right? There's a few things that you can do. Number one, you can, first of all, observe your brain and basically come to a point where you just basically, when a thought comes in, you can ask the question, does this thought help me or hinder me to go to my goal? If it hinders me, then I let it go. All right. Sounds easier than done, obviously, but you can train that. Like everything else, you can train this as well. So if you get conscious about it and say like, okay, does it help me or does it hinder me? Okay, it helps me, great, I keep on to it. It hinders me, okay, I let it go, right? So this is a tactic that works quite well. And another thing is, just like I said, you need to understand that you need to get your control back. Like, when I finally learned to get my control back, everything else again fall into place. I was just basically like creating this new identity of who I want to become, creating this new, like, this is the moment where you need, like, this is the moment where you really need visualization. If you to ask people like Jim Carrey or Jim Carrey is a very good example, because he was completely fucking broke, right? When he was basically putting this 1 million check of $1 million over his bed, and basically always looked at it and said like, I'm going to have this $1 million on this and this point, right? It sounds so woo-woo, but especially in moments where you are stuck, in moments where you are basically not there where you want to be, it helps you massively to basically just stay positive about everything. And like I said, there's also the book The Gap and the Gain, which is a great book for every entrepreneur. You should definitely read it. I'm just reading it right now, where it all speaks about like, especially brilliant entrepreneurs that are like really successful, they're very often just in the gap. So they just think like, oh, this is missing and this is missing, and that's why I'm not there, and that's why they always it's just all about what is lacking, right? But when you put it around and you basically put it into the game where it's like, hey, I did this already and I achieved this already and I did this already, like obviously it makes you feel much better. And like this is the thing. It's like if you feel better, you will also perform better. It's just what happens, right? So that's why it's so important that we keep mind control, and especially that we don't let in this thief that is destroying dreams like nothing else, and this is worrying, guys. So like if you're worrying a lot, another thing that you can do, it sounds also crazy but works quite well as well. So you basically tell your brain you give it like 10 minutes 50 minutes a day where you can worry like it wants to, like you can put him a warrior break. Even if you have like a very bad time, something that I did one time is like, right, you say like, okay, you can worry between 10 and 10:15, okay, and that's it, or between 12 and 12:15, because maybe better you do your deep work task first, right? So let's say you between 12 and 12:15 you give your brain all the time to worry, and it can worry and worry and worry what it wants to, but afterwards you tell it to stop. Right? It's again, I mean, it's tricks, right? It's like but it works. Like it's all practice, right? The most important thing is that you need to understand that worrying helps you absolutely fucking nothing. It's really like praying for bad things to happen. So if you're a big worrier, it's a massive reason why you should learn to get control over your mind. It's a massive reason why you should do the deep foundational work, right? It's a massive reason to question all your core beliefs that you're having. All right. So like that's what we do in Limitless Wild. I think what is the most important, the most powerful thing that we do in the whole program is about questioning your core beliefs. So really about turning everything around, like everything around, and question everything. The one that questions everything is very, very intelligent, because if you believe everything, you're a dork. Like let's be real. Like if you believe everything that society tells you, nobody can help you. Not me, not everyone, not nobody. Right? So that's what I mean. So like you need to question everything. And when you start to learn to question everything, you can also obviously question your mind that is always worrying. Like, why are you always worrying? Like, what's the point on it, right? And like, I, for example, understood that I was a chronic worrier because of my mom. And when I understood that, and this is the funny thing, because like I also hated to be like this, right? But when I understood why it was like this, it made it easy for me to let it go. So if you're a warrior as well, that's what I want to say with it, is like, understand, okay, who in your family maybe has been a warrior, maybe your mom as well, your father, God knows, anybody. And if this is the case, then understand like you basically took on their patterns almost, okay, and it's time to let them go. It's time to cut that. And when you do that, you will realize the relief. All right. And what you can do as well, you can work with a journal. So even always when you realize that you're worrying, just write everything in there. Like when you write it out, like I always say, like if you write things with pen on paper, it's almost like magic. You can write it all out. So you put everything into your journal and then you just let it go, right? But only in this 10, 15 minutes of the day. And also when you worry about everything, what you can do as well was one thing that is quite cool. It's like it's called like almost the life matrix. As like when you put, like you take a piece of paper and you put a line where it's 0, okay, and you make an arrow, and then the end of the arrow basically, like if this is the things and you make it like this, boom, there's the arrow, okay, and here basically is 0 and here's 100%. And then on 100%, you put the worst thing that could happen. You die. That's maybe the worst thing. Your partner dies. That's also very fucking bad. You know what I mean? So you put this all here, and then you put what happened to you right now on a percentage scale. And maybe it's 20%, 30%. So you realize also quite easily in the relation to what's really bad that it's not that bad. So I give you a few tips already that you can use, right? So like I will put them one more together for you so that you understand it. So if you're a chronic warrior, number one, find out why you are like that. Like, because nobody comes as a warrior on this world. We don't come as a warrior into this world, right? So like if you imagine if you're a kid, you have 0 worries. What you worry about? Absolutely fucking nothing, right? There's nothing to worry about as a kid. Okay, and then it starts when you're getting older, when you're getting 5, 6, 7, maybe you start to worry a little bit, whatever, right? But like you're not getting born like this. So it's getting implemented somehow and somewhere. So you need to first of all understand where did this happen? That's number one. And then you question it, and then you understand it, and then you cut yourself from it. So that's number one. Number two, if you are a chronicle warrior, what you can do as well is like every day, like I said, approximately 10-15 minutes, you call it the worry time, and you basically give your brain the right to worry at this time. Sounds crazy, but just do it. And then when the other title comes up, be conscious about it and say like, no, there's no time now for this. We have to wait until this is the time. All right. So this is something that you can do as well. And then number three is you can ask the question, does this thought help me or does it hinder me to go to my goals? If it hinder me, then I let it go, right? It's in the end, it's all about consciousness. But if you really feel that in general, you're a deep warrior, okay? Like I said, it doesn't matter in which situation you are. Your situation right now doesn't mean this is the end of the thing, right? So like, but you need to stay positive. You need to think positive. You need to have positive beliefs, because everything that you like, people always say it's woo-woo, but it's so true. Like as long as you stay positive and as long as you visualize positive things, you will attract positive things. But when everything is negative in your brain, you will attract negativity. I know this because I've been there, all right? So, and not just once, I've been there often. So like, that's what I mean. Like I learned my lesson. Like I'm taking care that my brain is never like, obviously there can be a bad day, okay? But then maybe I'm for 2 hours max, I'm in this, and then I'm like, oh, this is enough, right? And then I pull myself out of it. And that's so important. So you need to learn that, you need to practice this with time. And what helps me as well really good with this one is like, I call it my winner pose, like, right? So basically this is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And it works super well also with this. If I have whatever bad feeling or whatever, I just, and it just helps me to get back into my winner mode. Okay, so basically it's called an anchor. So I set an anchor, and then I thought about all the things that I have done amazing in my life, everything what I have won and stuff like this. So this you can also really nicely use for that. So there's a few tips that you can use. All right. Otherwise, you can check out a few of my other videos. There's a lot more tips that you can find there about what you can do in general to work on your mindset. Because in the end, worrying is always coming from a weak mindset. It's just always coming from like worrying means we lose control over our mind. That's what happens. Like, and there's only two options: or you control your mind, your mind controls you. And trust me, you want to control your mind. You don't want your mind to control you. It's like that's a massive problem to be in. And if you have the feeling that your mind controls you, you have to do some deep work on this one, right? And you have to, like I said, you have to question your core beliefs. You have to understand where it comes from. It's not easy, okay? But it's worthy. That's my point, okay? So I hope you learned a little bit about worrying, guys. Otherwise, if you want to learn more, check out my other videos. There's a lot of topics that can help you as a founder, as a young agency owner or owner entrepreneur, whatever you are, to just learn more about what you can do to really work on the foundation, which is your mind. All right. Have a beautiful day, and I see you in my next video.